today Diana Bruin, one of probably the PKD expert in the whole world, in my opinion, when it comes to nutrition. So Diana, thanks for coming on to our live today.
Hey, everybody, coming to you live from very hot and humid Virginia right now.
It is blazing hot for sure. So today what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about how you add healthy fats into your food. So if you have been struggling with getting your calories up, you're losing a lot of weight, maybe you're interested in ketogenic diets for PKD, this is a great segment to pop into because we're going to talk about healthy fats and how you add them in. Here's a couple of reasons why we look at this really closely. And we use this, we use ketogenic diets for PKD in our practice, but we also use very low protein diets for people with low GFRs. And both of these diets really have to be, keto has to be heavy on fat because that's what it is. But very low protein diets have to be heavy on fat as well to be able to get enough nutrients and calories in. And so we always are utilizing strategies to get fat in, and not just any fat, healthy fat. So Diana, can you tell us just a little bit why, as patients, and for all of us, we need to be focusing on healthy fats, not just any fat?
So when you're making your fat choice, you're not just thinking about the flavor, which is usually delicious with fat, but you're also thinking about what it's actually adding for you. So there are fats that benefit you both with PKD and with CKD. And so asking, what is it doing for me? So for example, you've got your extra virgin olive oils that have great anti-inflammatory properties and other aspects that are really protective. You've got your coconut oils that are medium chained and they're medium chain triglycerides. I got a little tongue tied there. But those are the ones that you'll hear a lot with keto. Those are the ones that definitely help you create more energy quickly. And then you've also got your whole food fats, food that comes with the whole matrix of goodness that combines together stuff like avocados and olives. And yes, I definitely just said olives. I know you guys are thinking, but those have sodium. Not when you're whole food, and also avocado oils. And what you really want to do is choose your oils that are like extra virgin olive oil that's cold pressed because you're keeping all those good nutrients. And you also want to choose your oils that are not, I call them industrial produced. So where they have taken fat and stripped it of all of its good stuff, stuff like vegetable oils and canola oils. So those actually, when you use them, can create more stress in your body. So choosing those good fats, both for their flavor, but also for helping your kidneys.
Perfect. I love that. Okay, so one question, I'm throwing this one in as a wild card. The most common question that we get, people say, heart disease is connected with kidney disease. So we got to keep things low fat so that people don't get a heart attack when they have kidney disease, because that's the most common cause of death. Is adding extra fat a risk for increasing heart disease? If we're going to add in all these extra fats, avocado, olives, etc., are we going to increase people's risk for heart disease?
Well, I'm going to say an overwhelming no, but that really depends on the fat you're choosing. Like we just mentioned, you're not choosing those industrial fats. But also, let me put it this way. Fat, if you are removing fat from products that or foods that naturally have it, you're replacing it with something else. And what are you replacing it with? You're replacing it with added sugar and added salt. And over the last 50 to 60 years, what we know is intake of foods that are high in added sugar, high in processed carbs, high in added salt. Those are the ones that are actually connected with worse heart outcomes. And you might have heard about the heart health hypothesis. This is what has been perpetuated for about 60, 70 years. It's just not true. And what we know now is we've gone back and looked at those really good fat sources, like those omega-3 rich fat sources. and those whole food fat sources. And there's a protective layer. And they've actually shown it's actually protective of heart health. And they've shown what really matters is how you are eating the fat and how it is, I'm going to say, not processed. And so your heart needs fat. Your body needs fat. Your body needs it to better absorb your vitamins and minerals. And so looking back at tons of research, and you can absolutely say that fat does not make you fat. The right fat does not give you heart disease. And from a personal experience, fat is delicious.
I was going to add that last one.
It's tasty.
Our keto that we do, they are like the best recipe. I mean, we have a lot of good plant-based recipes, and we're not shy about using fat in those either, but our keto recipes are like they're so delicious. They're so amazing.
It really is. But if we look back to, I call it the Snackwell era, where stuff was fat-free. You had fat-free potato chips. Ooh, you had Snackwells. You had the fat-free yogurt, which we still unfortunately have today. But what we have seen is once that shift to reduce your fat and increase your carb intake, and it's all processed carbs, once we saw that shift, people put on weight. There's more diabetes issues. And in reality, the intake of that is what is scientifically connected to worse heart outcomes. And so, yeah, it's just, and who wants to eat, fat-free noodles with fat-free pasta sauce with a slice of fat-free cheese? Like, It doesn't work.
Fat-free cheese is a crime in my book. Okay, so we love healthy fats. They're great for you. They're fine. They're good for your heart as well, in my opinion. I think it just balances everything out, balances your blood sugar. What are some ways that people with kidney disease can add healthy fats into their diet? Some things you've seen work really well for your patients. So they, what are some ways that they can eat more healthy fat?
Ooh, good question. So, because that's always a question, what can I eat? So what I like to do is take a step back and say, how can we add delicious and healthy fat to what you're already eating?
Love that.
And so what I like to do is go through what people are eating and talk about how we're going to add stuff. And I can tell you, we usually leave those conversations being really hungry and jazzed. So here's my good tips. We should do the 3 Ds. So look at what you're eating and then go to the 3 Ds. The first is drizzles, dressings, and dips. So and this is adding to what you're already eating. So you want to drizzle your vegetables before you roast them with a nice olive oil. And then when, you want to add a dressing, like a homemade dressing, like a nice vinaigrette to that salad. And those dips, a nice tzatziki with your cucumber and red onion salad in the summer. So that is really, you want to up level everything you're already eating. Drizzles, dressings, and dips. And I can tell you, I worked with this one person who made the bomb pesto, and she added walnuts to it, even a little bit of cheese, got that savoriness, and she drizzled it on everything. She roasted those vegetables with olive oil, drizzled the pesto afterwards. She mixed it with something and made a dip, and then she even put it on afterwards. So you want to think about, what can I add to what I'm already doing? Easiest way to add something. Now, the second one is toppers. And this is where you can up level what you're eating, both in taste and crunch and deliciousness. So what do I like for toppers? Nuts, nut butters, and those are what I call toppers. So for that nice salad you have, guess what? A handful of chopped pecans that are dry roasted. You've just added 20 grams of delicious fat and so much more. Yeah. For that stir fry, those sprinkle of pumpkin seeds. Hello, just up leveled your crunch. You added fat, a handful of those, you're going to be adding just so many nutrients. Also to your smoothies, you can do a scoop of nut butter, or even the nuts if you don't have a nut butter. So toppings. Shredded coconut, I'm going back to that stir fry. I guess I have stir fry in the brain. You know, shredded coconut, a fourth a cup, has a delicious amount of fat. Smoothies, stir fries, a curry. So really easy ways to add it to what you're already doing. And then I got 2 more tips. So I won't take your time too much more, but cook with fat.
3Ds.
Absolutely cook with fat. If I'm like, Pam, get it out, you know, unless you like spraying something and baking it, but cook with fat. You know, a scoop of really nice coconut oil in that stir fry will open up your aromatics and your flavor. Extra virgin olive oil. Have you ever had an egg cooked in that with a bunch of veggies? Delicious. So always cook with fat. And then also some of my favorite, think full food fat. So everything you buy, you want your cheese full fat. I know Jess is very anti-low fat. You want your yogurt full fat. You want whole food full fat. Try saying that 3 times. But those olives, chopped up olives on a salad, a tapenade to dip in something. You know, don't get that light ricotta. Don't get that light sour cream. Guys, got any recipe ideas? I've been throwing them out at you there. So always buy full fat. And my last but not least is add avocado. Always my secret weapon. If you don't like the flavor, you can mix it into stuff as you know, just creaminess. You can add it to a smoothie. You can top a salad. You can make a dip. Who doesn't like guacamole? You can find it frozen. Super easy to add avocado to a bunch of stuff. So those are my big adding fat and some tips to do it. But as you can see, it's adding it to what you're already eating. So it's pretty intentional. You'd be amazed at how quickly you can add calories if you need them, flavor, absolutely, but also fat, and hit your goals and feel really good about it.
Yeah, it doesn't. One thing I like about fat, because it's so calorie dense, if you're needing more calories, it's easy to add in small amounts and get a lot of bang for your buck. And like I said, it's not just about the calories. Yes, that's good. That can be a tough thing. People are losing weight or, you know, having a hard time getting enough, you know, fat grams if they're doing keto, but it really can add tons of other nutrients as well that are powerful, which is another reason that we love using fat. It can be really smart. So
much.
I love this. I love the 3Ds. I love toppers. You always have the best catchphrases. I think that's really, really good.
I was trying to not make it. I originally had 2 Ds, and we don't want to say that. But I do love dip.
Yeah, it's so fantastic. For those of you that have potassium restrictions, of course, work with a dietitian on avocados. Most people, though, even with the potassium restriction, they can fit avocados in really successfully, and they just make food taste so good. And you can buy them in the freezer section if you don't want to keep them on your counter all the time. But awesome. Okay, Diana, thank you for joining us today for our live. I hope that those of you who joined us or those of you who watch this later, that you found some value. If you have questions below, maybe you're wondering about, why did you mention nuts? Why did you mention avocado? Go ahead and drop them below and we will answer them in the comments below as quickly as we can. If you are looking for a dietitian to work with, maybe you want to implement a kidney safe ketogenic approach for PKD. Maybe you are looking at doing a very low protein diet and really want someone to guide you to make sure you stay well nourished while you do that. You can go to kidneynutritioninstitute.org, click on work with us, and there you can fill out a patient application, and our admin will get back to you in 24 hours to work with one of our amazing dietitians like Diana, who are experts in their area. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody. Happy eating.
Bye-bye.